We made $27,600 in 6 days with Skool of cash collected, most of which is profit, which is basically about $4,600 in a day, every day, right? If we calculate the average. And the way that we did this is actually very surprising and very easy, right? And this video will be more applicable to not that much of beginners. So if you're a beginner and watching this, I can't promise that you will do this right away, but you can watch this video. So when you can actually do this, you won't miss out and you can make money. And if you are someone that is more advanced, you're already making money and you want to scale, then I think this will help you. So how we did this, and first of all, what's interesting about this, right? How this money was made is that 90%, right, of this money was from just one offer. And there is a secret about that offer, right, that we used that actually helped us to collect this much money. And the secret is having a premium, more expensive offer every time you sell something. And let me explain what do I mean. So we have a community, right? It's called achievegreatness.com. It's a free community where we help you for free to grow your community, grow your personal brand, to scale to 6 and 7 figures and beyond. And there we have also paid community, right? Where some people that like our free community upgrade to our paid community, right? And what we were doing for a long time is we didn't have a premium offer, right? For this community specifically. So the change that I made is I introduced a 50 times more expensive offer that we already had, right? And just few people bought it. By few people, about 20 in our case during this month. And we were able to make over $27,000 in the last 6 days, right? And this is something that can break people's beliefs. Can you sell something 50 times more expensive than you are selling already? And the answer is yes, right? For example, your offer can be, let's say, $50, right? If your offer is $50 and people are buying it, right? Then I promise you that you can have a version of your offer that's going to cost, right? Or going to be priced at least $2,500, right? Or even 100x. At $5,000, right? If you're selling something for $100 and it's working, you can sell something for $5,000, $10,000 and more. If you're selling for something for $2,000, then I promise you there's a way to sell it for 20, 30, 50. Now, not the same thing, but a premium, right? A premium version of it, okay? So let's say if someone is buying a community from you or something where they don't get much one-on-one attention, one-on-one support, you can have a premium offer where people get one-on-one attention and one-on-one support, where people get, let's say, in-person events, where you go and look in the person's situation closely one-on-one and you help them whatever your service is or offer is or product is that you are helping them with, right? And Hormozi has been talking about this as well, by the way, for a very long time. And it is that if you have a premium offer, right, then when you present this, a lot of people, of course, are not going to buy the premium offer because they can't afford it, or it's just not for them, right? And there's also so many of the premium offers that you can sell because usually this has a lot of value, a lot of delivery, usually some of your time or a lot of your time, depending on what you sell, and which means that you can't really sell a lot of this without having a lot of operations in your business. So what happens is that once you show this offer to people, what happens is that your other offers, right, more expensive, more cheaper offers, sorry, are become easier to sell as well, because people they compare what they see here to buy the cheaper thing, right? And there's even an example for this, which is Rolls-Royce, right? You probably know that car. It's a very expensive car, a few $100,000 at least, usually, right? And what they understood is that once they were trying to sell their car, right, for hundreds of thousands of dollars at some like events or stuff, it was working. But once they made this one simple change, they started making 5 to 10 times more money. And here's the change that they made. They actually started presenting some of their cars in events when people were considering buying private jets. Now you can say, Harold, how does that matter? Like, what does that mean? And how can I use it for my business, right? And it's actually very simple. The reason that they started presenting some of their cars in events where people were considering buying jets was because the person that was just about to buy a jet and looked at the price and it was 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, whatever it is, then after that, once they see a car that is just $300,000, they are more likely to buy it because they anchored the price to something that was way more expensive, right? So the price is always relative. The $300,000 is very expensive, but once you compare it to a $30 million thing, then it becomes less expensive, right? Even the $30 million thing is expensive, but if you compare it to a $1 trillion or $2 trillion valuations, or like Nvidia, who is right now worth $3 trillion, then $30 million is not even the 1% of that, right? So it's nothing in a relative terms. So you can always anchor things by showing people something more expensive first, and then the other things seem cheaper. Restaurants do this as well. Some restaurants show, like in their menu, they have the most expensive thing at the top, right? Let's say a $10,000 wine, a $5,000 wine, or something else. And then once you see the $200 wine, then in comparison, it feels cheaper, right? But if you had just $1, $3, $5, $1, $2, $3, $5 wine, and then you had the $200 one, suddenly the $200 one would seem way more expensive, because everything is relative, right? So how can you use this for yourself? So right now, if you don't have an offer, don't worry about this, but just remember, so you can later use this, and this can make you a lot of money. If you already have an offer, consider having something. If you are not confident about having something 50 times more expensive, or even 100 times more expensive, what Alex Hormozi says, who is a $100 million entrepreneur, if you don't know him, and you can at least start by having something 5 to 10 times more expensive, right? And how you can make this, how can you come up with this offer, is actually pretty simple. All you have to do is you have to increase, as also Alex Hormozi says in his book, $100 million Offers, you need to increase the perceived value, the dream outcome. You need to have more urgency and more scarcity. And this is the key. You need to decrease the sacrifice and the effort of the offer that you are making, right? So let's say, for example, this can apply to any niche, any market, wealth, health, happiness, doesn't matter, right? Relationships, whatever it is. You can apply this to everything. Let's say you help people to grow their Instagram accounts by editing their reels for them, right? Or helping them make better reels, right? Your offer can be $200, and it's a course teaching them how to make great reels that go viral, that get people clients, for example, right? Let's say that's what you do. Now, if you are selling that for $200, I can guarantee you can have a $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000 offer where you can say, hey, right now you are learning from my course, right? But what I will do for this premium offer, that is, by the way, limited, only the next 3 people can join, and it can actually be ethical, that can actually be true, and say it when it's true, because you can't do it for everyone. I will tell you now why. And you can say, hey, now, and you increase their dream outcome, you say, hey, now I'm going to make the reels for you, I'm going to edit the reels for you, I'm going to script them for you, I'm going to review them for you, I'm going to post them for you, I'm going to do research to see what reels are working best for your competitors. So you increase their value, and then you can charge more. And there's an actual gap on how many people you can do this for. You can't do this unless you have big operations for 100 people, and you make 100 reels every day for 100 people, right? So you need to use that fact that you actually can do this for a lot of people, and say, hey, there's just these many spots. And if you say it and it's ethical, it's actually great for people, because the right type of person wants to buy that thing, and they go ahead and buy it, right? Even me, I've spent over $150,000 in courses, masterminds, programs, one-on-one programs, etc. And a lot of them were premium programs that I bought, right? And I see how that works, because they had let's say a $500 course and a $36,000 mastermind, and I bought that one because I wanted the premium thing, right? Because once you present this, there will be a certain person that always wants to buy the most expensive thing, because they want to just achieve the result the fastest, right? And there will also be a lot of people that will compare the price of the most expensive thing to the other things that you have, and suddenly the other programs, offers at the price points that you have for them will suddenly appear more reasonable, right? Or a better deal, and that's how people can sign up for it. Now, a lot of these trainings are available for free with all of the templates, AI tools, private feedback for you to be able to implement in your business. And guess what? It's absolutely free. So if you're interested, the link will be down below in the description, and you can apply to join there.